Are you ready?
Yeah.
Step in the ring, feel the adrenaline rush, throwing fists and kicks, the pain we can't hush. And then they find us, we're the real tough guys, breaking down barriers, we aim for the skies. Into the octagon like a warrior I stand, trading blows, taking hits as I command. The art of combat, I'm ready to go. Submission, knockout, that's how I flow. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling with my golden octagon. The stage we ignite. Unleashing the fury like an untamed beast, locked in a cage where strength is released. Striking precision, grappling like a golden octagon. The stage we ignite.
I need to start wearing that Paulo Costa shirt more. It seems like I win in that shirt.
And we are live. Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast with your hosts, Matt and D Rose.
Oh, yeah.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to the Golden Octagon MMA Podcast. My name is Matt. D Rose is right over there on that side of the screen. As you see, I have gotten rid of this bad luck beard that was growing on my face, D Rose. You're in for it this week, dog. Like, I am bringing the heat this week. Coming in here, feeling nice, feeling refreshed, coming to spank that ass this week, D Rose. Clean sweep incoming at UFC Trash Can Vegas 115. What a terrible card we have this upcoming weekend. But we're still here to break it down. We got to make this a good show because, man, probably going to be about 3 people watch this. Right now, though, we have one. We have Austin in here. What's going on, Austin? How you doing, brother? Glad you're able to make it. The most kindest of evenings to y'all. I saw your picture on Instagram, Austin. That was sick. I hope you enjoyed UFC Seattle, brother. And we're going to talk about it along with, but let's talk about UFC Seattle. We got the Wheel of Doom. Unfortunately, I have to spin it again this week because it's what happens apparently. Not this week. Not this upcoming week though, D-Rose. It's coming at you, dog. It's coming at you. We got some UFC news and fight announcements to go over, and then we got UFC Trash Can 115. Hinata Moicano versus Chris Duncan is the main event this weekend. The rest of the card, not great either. But, we got some fun fights. We'll see if we can pick out some, bets, maybe some locks maybe to hand out to you guys. And then at the end of the show, we'll cover the pick champ, which I could have won this week if I just would have picked the right fights. Unfortunately, I did not. So, that being said, D-Rose, who else we got in the chat? We got Austin in here again. Yeah, it was awesome. That's what's up, brother. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Let's get into our UFC Seattle recap. Well, before we do that, how have you been over this past weekend, my guy? That's important as well.
Things have been great over here, and I know you're coming for the pig champ, but hey, the gold is shining over here for a reason. So, whatever's going to help you sleep better at night to help you convince yourself, the beard or whatever the case may be. We've been on a roll picking fights. Now, if only my bets could get as well as my picks have been, things would be okay here. But overall, yeah, things have been great. U3 underdog was my kind of like my only win this weekend that I had.
I believe you predicted Yusri round 3 KO as well. And what'd you do? Not bet it?
I don't know why I didn't. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't just take. I don't know why I didn't just throw 5 on it, man. But and we'll talk about it. But Yeah, I threw 5 on that Chiesa fight, and that was just an absolute letdown. So, yeah.
You think you're let down? How do you think Nico Price feels? They wouldn't even. They're like, yeah, Mike Chiesa retired, yeah, and Nico Price. Oh, fuck off, dude. No one cares. Feel bad for Nico Price, but let's go over the card from this past weekend, my guys. Starting off, Alexa Thainara, Brandon Brazil. Did he pop in? What's going on, Antoine? How you doing, brother? I hope y'all had a great weekend. We are doing well. Got rid of the bad luck beard. Coming for D Rose's strap this weekend. Ready to tap that ass. Anyway, Alexa Thainara, Brandon Brazil ended Alexa Thainara via decision as expected. Ricky Simone, Adrian Yanez, dude. This one, man. All 3 judges gave Ricky Simone round 1 and 2. Are you kidding me, dog? And then 2 of the 3 gave a 10-8 in the third. I didn't think it was 10-8 worthy, to be honest. And then 1 judge 10-9. So I guess like my fiance was so confused. She was like, I don't get how it was still a draw when one of the judges is the tiebreaker, picked like Simone, like the win. I'm like, it's a majority draw. So the majority of the judges picked it draw. Yeah. She was like, so that's dumb. So I understand, should be the deciding factor there. But at the same time, dog, I thought Adrian Yanez won round 1 and 3 pretty clear, but unfortunately not. So anyone that, bet Adrian Yanez via decision on your sports books or anything like that, you got ruined. D-Rose, did you get ruined, Adrian Yanez, via decision?
No, I didn't. I actually, so my dumb butt before the fight started, I thought I had placed a parlay with Adrian Yanez money line. Now, thank goodness I didn't place a parlay because it wouldn't have hit. But I was still upset just because Yanez, me being a Yanez guy, I was just upset that I thought he had won the first round. Yeah, I thought Simone had won the second round, and I thought it came down to that third. And obviously Yanez with that kind of Hail Mary there at the end. And I don't want to say Hail Mary because Ricky Simone kind of did the Max Holloway. He didn't point down, but he heard the clapper and decided to kind of swing and immediately paid for it. Ricky Simone was so lucky the fight was not stopped. Adrian Yanez is normally a guy who, when he's got somebody finished or when he's got somebody hurt, he's normally pretty good about getting angles and landing the punches to get the finish. So I think he just got a little bit excited there because he wasn't expecting it at that moment, and neither was I. But it was just a good fight for Yanez, and at least it showed me, is he going to compete? Is he going to be top 5? Probably not, but just in terms of him being competitive back in the octagon against, competent fighters. I have confidence in that again.
Bullshit draw though. On a good note, not sponsored, by the way. D-Rose, I've been playing on this app called like fucking Novig, and when that happened, they actually graded out for me. So wasn't even an X. So shout out Novig. I'm gonna keep using this thing like over here because when that happens, it's the worst thing in the world, dude. I absolutely hate it. So not sponsored like or anything like that. If you want a code, hit your boy up though, because I think I can send one possibly. I'm not sure. Or maybe not. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, refer a friend to get 25 Novig cash. That'd be cool. Anyway, but yeah. So I like that, so I'm gonna probably keep using that. But as far as Bet Online, they ruined my parlay on that. My bookie, they ruined my parlay on that, all because it went to a draw, and I picked Adrian Yanez via decision. So my over 2.5, that's still cash. So I guess if you would have money lined it, it probably would have avoided. But if you would have picked like one of the fighters to win by decision, you're screwed there. Anyway, moving on up. Yeah. We have Navajo Sterling, Bruno Lopez. Dude, I have to talk about this one for just a second. If you if this was your first time watching a UFC fight, you would have been like, wow, what a banger this was. This guy is beating the shit out of the other guy. And then at some point on the broadcast, you would have heard Dominic Cruz say, yeah, Keith Peterson letting it go. I wish that was me in there. And you would have looked and said, what? Is the broadcast guy just said that he wished he was in there just getting beat like that? Because without knowing context, dude, Dominic Cruz is holding on to this Keith Peterson thing like he killed his mom, dog. Like, what is going
From
on?
6 years ago.
Let it go. Dominic Cruz was exact words was, I wish that was me in there. Like, while Bruno Lopez has already been like knocked out 3 separate occasions at this point, just getting wailed on a lifeless body. And Dominic Cruz has the nerve to say, I wish that was me in there, dog. I was losing it. I was losing it. Thoughts on this fight, round 2 TKO. Navajo Sterling's first KO in the UFC.
Hey, I did call that he was going to get his going to get his first finish, and hey, Bruno Lopez was the guy to get the finish against, and good for Navajo Sterling, and yeah, just for Dominic Cruz to be as petty as he is, it's again 6 years ago, and you're still holding on to this, like bro, you need to you 100% need to let that go.
Yeah, so the first parlay ruiner for me was the Ricky Simone, Adrian Yanez, because I did have Adrian Yanez via decision. So, chase a little bit. Navajo Sterling KO. This fight to go over 2.5, which immediately lost because Casey O'Neill comes out and knuckles up Gabby Fernandez in round number 1, dude. Knocks her out round number 1, takes a shit all over my over 2.5 parlays. My Gabby Fernandez money line, my Gabby Fernandez via decision. Wasn't even close, dog. Thoughts on fucking Casey O'Neill versus Gabby Fernandez? I guess Gabby Fernandez with 2 left gloves. I don't know how that happens.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Casey O'Neill with 2 left gloves. That's what I meant.
Yeah. No, the crazy part was I had a lot of bets with this one that had just to start round 3, like not even over 2.5, like just to start round 3. And I think to start round 3 was like a -220 or something like that. And I was like, for a women's fight, it's like -2. It was like -220, -280.
Especially both these girls go to decision. That's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, Katie O'Neill has had some finishes before, and Gabrielle Fernandez, she finished, Wang Tong and. And stuff like that, but I was not expecting Casey O'Neill, and I picked Casey O'Neill. I was not expecting Casey O'Neill to knuckle up Gabrielle Fernandez like she did. Dude, that check left hook was beautiful. She kept looking for it, when Fernandez was throwing that jab, and it was just that last one that she finally caught her with. And I'm at work when I'm watching this, so I'm like, I'm walking in the back, and I just, as soon as Casey O'Neill hurts her, I'm just like, oh, she's hurt. I'm just screaming at my phone, like walking in the back of the lot by myself, but just watching on my phone, just getting hyped up because I'm like, oh, get her, finish her. And man, I again got excited because I had her in Pig Champ, but then once I realized, that I had the start round 3 in a lot of bets, immediately killed me. But it was a pretty badass performance from Casey O'Neill.
Yeah, this was the first fight for the Pick Champ, and once I saw how this went, I was like, "Oh, it's not gonna be a good night." I already knew, dog. I was like, "It ain't gonna be a good night, dog." Up next, Marcin Tybura, Tyrell Fortune. D-Rose, there was some shenanigans here. Yeah, I don't understand what happened.
I will say I didn't watch this fight, so I'll just defer to you for.
All right. Well, I was watching this fight through my blinds outside because I already knew how this shit looked. I think it was going to go. It was it was either going to be Tyrell Fortune round 1 knockout, or this shit was going to be a 3-round cage push, which it turned into a 3-round cage push. Every time I looked in through my blinds, I saw Tyrell Fortune holding Marcin Tybura up against the fence. And then I was like, all right, well, I guess Tyrell Fortune won the fight. And then I'm looking through the blinds and I see Herb Dean raise Marcin Tybura's hand. And I was like, what did I miss? Like, did I miss something? Because it's like like I wasn't watching every single moment of the fight, but I watched, I would say probably 4 out of every 5 minutes of of the round. And Tyrell Fortune was like winning every moment of the fight. And then so I let Marcin Tybura's hand get erased. I'm like, well, that's odd. So I kind of sat back down and I like look back over and I see Tyrell Fortune walking back in the octagon. And I was like, what is he doing? And then they're lining back up. I'm like, what are they doing? So I opened up the door and I'm like, Bruce Buffer is like, ladies and gentlemen, there has been a mistake. The winner of this fight, Tyrell Fortune. I'm like, dude, is Bruce losing a step or was shenanigans going on there, D-Rose? And it's like, that was too bad. Like, think about this, dog. The judges write it on their cards. They then give it to Bruce, who then writes it down, who then tells the referee which hand to raise, either blue or red. All of that happened without anyone noticing that Marcin Tybura was about to get his hand raised. At what point did they they realize, hey, the wrong guy won? I don't understand that.
I mean, that's a good point. I never thought about that. I never thought about it from that point because actually, like I said, I didn't actually watch the fight. I just heard about all the crazy part afterwards.
30-27, 129-28, I think.
Yeah, I mean, was it that clear that Tyrell Fortune won the
fight?
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I can kind of see where you're hatching this from, because that's very weird. And maybe they just walked back. Did they? I guess the question would be, did they do an interview with Tybura?
Tyrell Fortune had walked out of the octagon already.
Right. So Fortune walked out. Did they do an interview with Tybura?
You know how the decisions go. They don't really, sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't.
Right. Well, that's why I'm wondering if maybe while he's doing his post-fight interview, they did it, or everybody just.
It didn't get that far. It was kind of if fucking fight's over, everyone kind of starts to walk out of the cage, and then you hear fucking Tyrell Fortune just. The camera's on him, and then he just turns around all of a sudden, and then fucking starts to walk fucking back toward the cage, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then I open up the door, ladies and gentlemen, there has been a mistake. Like what? And why are you saying that in your announcer voice, Bruce? Bruce, stop. Hey guys, sorry I fucked up. Ladies and gentlemen, there has been a.
I mean, how else is he supposed to deliver it? I guess would be you can't come back and hey guys, sorry, I just made a really big mistake. Tyrell Fortune. No, you gotta put some umps into that to really emphasize and bring it home. But yeah, just a weird situation, and I'm glad I missed the fight. Clearly, but
it wasn't good.
Just the craziness just unfold from it is wild.
Yeah. We got Phoenix Priest in here. What's going on, brother? How you doing, brother? And we got Skonks. What's going on, dude? How you doing, brother?
What's up?
And then so moving on up, we got Chase Hooper, Lance Gibson Jr. Dude, I would expect a Chase Hooper BetterHelp sponsorship after this fight, dog. For him to pop up on my YouTube ads. Hey guys, I'm Chase Hooper. And after I got knocked out cold in round 1 by Lance Gibson Jr., I needed the most help. That's why today's sponsor, BetterHelp. That is what I expect from Chase Hooper right now, because Jesus Christ, dog. I understand Alex Hernandez. Lance Gibson Jr., dog. At this point, if he fights anyone with power, automatic fade. I don't care who it is, dude. I just, at this point, he just can't take a punch. That's all I need to see. I was Chase Hooper fan for a while, dog. Me and you both. But I think this right here is all that I need to see, man. Every single bit of it.
Yeah. I did pick him to win. I thought that he would be able to sneak out a decision win there. But Yeah, I mean, really, the
Porsche.
biggest thing with Chase
Indeed.
Hooper is that he possesses no danger on the feet. Like he possesses no danger, and you know his striking got a little bit better. I know, you know, we always credited him with the Borishev fight because he really put it on Borishev. Like he put it on Borishev on the feet before it got to the ground and he subbed him. So you know that was a complete performance from him, but I think that was just kind of like you know, maybe you know, lightning strikes somebody once, you know, kind of one of those types of deals that, you know, you know, maybe just a flash in the pan moment, but you know, he just hasn't really been able to put it together. And as you said, any power puncher has really been able to put his lights out for the most part. So yeah, it's just I really don't know where he goes from here because you know, even when you go down to Lance Gibson and you're getting put out, I mean, where do you know, kind of where do you get matched up with at this
Dude,
point? You know what I mean?
and I'm not saying he's the worst fighter in the world, dude. He went to split decision with King Green, which I was thinking, damn, that's how washed Bobby Green is at this point. Split decision against Lance Gibson. And then he comes in here and then fucking smokes Chase Hooper, dude. So maybe we're not giving Lance Gibson credit, dude. But as of right now, this is all Chase Hooper. WTF moment. Like, what the fuck's happening, dude? No idea.
Well, I actually
Anyway.
picked Lance Gibson to KO Bobby Green, and you know, Bobby Green ended up winning that fight. Even though you know I'm a Bobby Green fan, but I thought Lance Gibson would KO him. But I just thought that Chase Hooper, you know, just you know, obviously getting put out his last fight, you know, he'd be a little bit more cautious and you know maybe not get cracked as much. But he's just no hope for him at this point.
Yeah. Sugar Ray said, give me Hooper versus King Green. What do you think about that, Eros?
Man, somebody. Oh no, and we'll talk about it. No, the one that I actually want to see Drew Dober in, and they said a rematch would be against Terrence McKinney. Terrence McKinney actually pitched that idea, and I would actually love to see that fight because Drew Dober is kind of on his you know, kind of on his tour with the brothers, I guess you could say, and maybe Terrence McKinney trying to get one back for himself and the brothers in this instance.
Yeah, man. Moving on up. Ignacio Bahamundes, Tawfiq Musayev, dude. This one, man. Ignacio Bahamundes was, you know, kind of beating Tawfiq Musa up on the feet, which is what I expected, at least. He goes for a takedown at some point, and Musayev grabs the fence. And do you remember when?
And this was after Bahamondes dropped Musayev
Yeah,
as well.
yeah, like right after it. Do you remember
Right,
when
he dropped him, rocked him, hurt him bad.
Yeah, who was it that Alexander Romanov fought where the dude held the fence and then he just lost? He just lost all the gas in the world from there. There was a fight that
Rogerio de Lima or
I want to say it was like a Volkov, but I'm almost 80% sure that's not it.
I was thinking the de Lima fight or maybe Tabora because I think he got that against Tabora as well.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was like kind of something like that. It's like Tawfiq grabbed the cage with like two fingers, but it was just enough because like I fucking Bahamundes had like put all of his energy into this takedown. It was just enough to not get taken down, and somehow ends up on his back. At that point, I didn't see it happen live, but Tawfiq Musayev like drops down like a full 3-foot headbutt, dude. Just smashes Ignacio Bahamundes like right in the face. He gets away with 2 fouls right in a row. Not even a warning, dude. And then at one point, drops an elbow, cuts open Ignacio. Obviously, just looks bad from that point on, man. And Tawfiq Musayev wins the fight. Was it via cheating? Yeah, but you don't get points taken away for cheating, apparently. So Tawfiq Musayev wins via decision. And that, I think, wins you the pick champ because that was your number 2 right there.
Yeah, that was one that you know, kind of the result and how it happened was kind of how I imagined it would go, but just not. I didn't think all the cheating would necessarily come with it, but I mean, I was really surprised that the ref didn't catch the fence grab. The headbutt, you don't really. I didn't catch it live.
Dude, this is to go from Chase getting
Okay.
ice to seeing Ignacio being cheated by Prime Eddie Guerrero. Was something
Yeah,
else.
yeah.
Dude,
Phoenix, you ain't lying.
the only
Dude.
thing he was
Live
missing
cheating.
was the fucking brass knuckles getting fucking tossed in the octagon.
Yeah,
and
I
the
mean,
fucking pulling out of his fucking.
I mean, to feed Messiah was lying, cheating, and stealing. Like, he was doing it all. But I mean, it was absolutely nasty. Those elbows that he was landing with the ground and pound, because dude, the way he had sliced, Bahamondes up afterwards, and I will say for Messiah to get cracked the way he did on the feet, and to be able to recover in the way he did, and yes, he used the fence to hold himself up, but to recover, get Bahamondes down pretty much immediately, and then pretty much get the work from there and start, working Bahamondes on the ground. It was credit to Messiah for, I guess, being able to stay in there. But man, that was just a rough scene, seeing how he, kind of got that way in the second round.
Yeah, and we had a question here from Antoine. That's actually a good question because I'll pull these two fighters up side by side, and Ignacio is taller than Chase, I think, by like a couple inches. Do you think it's a problem of skill or durability for Chase? So Ignacio is
Yes.
a bigger guy, dude. I
Yes.
just think, dude, I just think it's the size, mate. He's got to lift some weights or something, dog. Like he
Yeah.
just gets hit. He just seems so frail.
Yeah, but I don't even think it's really necessarily him just getting hit. He doesn't possess any danger. I mean, that's why people can get inside. Like, I mean, imagine if his length, if he just had a jab, like if he was able to throw a leg kick when somebody's standing a distance. He just doesn't have that type of just basic skill. Obviously I'm not here to trash his game. Obviously he can kick my butt any day, but I'm
Nah,
just
fucking
saying
D-Rose got those fucking jabs.
yeah. Hey, got the D Rose gym over here trying to get these things right. But him just being as tall and lanky of a guy as he is, just imagine how effective his game could be if he had a nice jab. And that's just something that he just hasn't seemed to be able to develop into his game to kind of, fend off guys who do have power. And it's hurt him ultimately.
Yeah. Moving on up. Main card, T-Rex, Terrence McKinney. Save me from the clean sweep, D-Rose. Because I was down too. I was like, come on, T-Rex. You got to come through. T-Rex wins via first round wrist kick, I guess. I guess drop kick Kyle Nelson in the wrist, knocked him down, and then I guess just kind of ground and pound him from there, dude. Dude, I swear, every T-Rex fight, if he wins, it looks like it's fixed, dog. It's like he hits them with nothing, and they just go down like, I'm done. Maybe he just has that kind of power that just transforms through blocks and all, dude. Shout out T-Rex. Every single T-Rex fight, I will bet the under 1.5. I don't care if it's minus 500. That's free money, dog.
His fights are going to start going to 0.5. Like his lines are, like I would have to imagine his next fight is going to be
he's yet to win a fight that's gone over, I think, 2 minutes.
I think they said his average fight distance right now is 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Like average time in the UFC is 2
because
minutes.
He's got 2 minutes, and then those 36 seconds, that's when he fucking gasses and the other guy wins and then at 36 seconds.
I think it's more like I think it's more he gets it done within the first minute, or he gasses out about a minute 30 or so, and then he's pretty much getting wailed on or getting ready to get submitted, and the ref just hasn't stopped the fight yet. Because if you go back to the Drew Dober and the Chris Duncan fight, pretty much went the same exact way, just bombing on the guys for the first 30 seconds.
And you know what? Y'all say Drew Dober fucking T-Rex. Give me Bond Fiend fucking T-Rex fucking rematch. I want to see that dude that quit against fucking Nazim fucking Sadikov. Him fight fucking T-Rex again, dog. Because that dude has kind of proved to be a fucking quitter.
Yeah, but that's what makes it worse about T-Rex losing to Bonfim. I mean, dude, when Bonfim beat T-Rex, like he had me thinking that Bonfim was going to be like one of those dudes. I was like, man, it's gonna Bonfim. He gonna be a problem. And then all of a sudden you look and dude's kind of cheeks. So yeah, just obviously MMA math don't work.
Dude, a great test though, dude. If you can beat fucking T-Rex, I think you can withstand enough damage to be in the UFC.
You really had to get through the first minute. That's the crazy part. But at the end of the day, that's why we love T-Rex.
Yeah, that's fair, dude. Let's see. We got David here. I'm cooking right now, boys. 76ers and Hawks. Just need Spurs or the Nuggets to hit something. Dave, hit me up before you start making basketball bets, man. I've actually been doing pretty all right. I'll let you know if it's a good bet or not. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna give you some bets. I'll let you know if it's one that could hit or not. And I'd stay away from the point totals right now because teams are trying to get in the playoffs. And now Gabriel is fighting Bilal. Is he moving up to fight Bilal?
No,
I didn't see that.
I think he's thinking Gabriel, but Ismail Bonfim was the one who fought Terrence McKinney.
No. Do you ever bet against the Spurs, man? I think I don't know. Maybe one time because it was pretty decent plus money against a decent team, but I forgot. Gabriel Bonfim. Oh, I thought you meant like the 155. I get them confused though. The Ismail and the fucking Gabriel. I'm determined to hit this 100 points in 3/4 prop. The Spurs will probably do it, dude. They usually get 75 by halftime, and I think they're playing some Cans tonight, like fucking. Nah, not Cans. I think they're playing Golden State tonight.
Celtics would have been a good play tonight if he had done that. They had like 53 in the first quarter earlier.
Yeah. Do you think Vic leaves San Antonio to stay? Hopefully he stays, man. Hopefully he stays. All right, let's get back to it. We got Mansour Abdul Malik. Usari Bagari. I'll let you talk this one because you called this one to a T, D-Rose.
Yeah, well, I mean, because really for me, Usari Bagari, he had a couple fights on the Contender Series. And I will say that when he came through on the Contender Series, he was not the most impressive. He was able to kind of put some skills together, but ultimately not able to really impress that much. But I will say for his UFC debut against Osman Bakoyev, for me, that was kind of what let me know that this was, to me, honestly, I'm not saying Bakoyev is that much of a better fighter, but I think, honestly, Mansour Abdul Malik, he's a little bit more raw than Bakoyev. Yeah, shout out. But I thought it was a very good test for him to kind of fight that style. And Mansour Abdul Malik has a very similar style to Bakoyev. And Bakoyev has a lot more experience than Abdul Malik as well. So honestly, I thought it was just a tailor-made matchup for Belgarwi, considering how good he did against Bakoyev in that debut. And as soon as Usari landed the jab and landed the leg kick, and you could just see Mansour kind of like cripple, and then he just wasn't doing anything because he's like, how do I close the distance? I was like, yeah, this fight's a wrap. This fight is a wrap. I had this fight to start round 3 in a couple parlays. I had Usari. Oh man, I had over 3.5 in the main event, but I had Usari round 3 or decision in a parlay, and I had a couple of them with this fight to start round 3. There's an argument that this fight should not have started round 3 because at the end of the second round, dude, when Usari is bombing on a tired Abdul Malik, when he drops him, I go, oh man, they're going to stop the fight. That's it. It's over. And then all of a sudden, the round ends and he gets up and walks to his corner. Dude, Mansour Abdul Malik, I will say that dude is otherworldly tough because he took a beating in that second and pretty much the whole third round until the fight finally got stopped. But shout out to Usari, man, because he's looked really good in his first 2 fights so far.
Yeah, man. Antoine, I don't want to see that. They better not make
Yeah,
that.
no, I don't need to see it. Israel needs to. We'll talk about it, but he needs to be
Yeah,
training with Yusri, not fighting him.
yeah. Moving on, Julian Erosa, Juicy J, Larry and Douglas. Larry and Douglas, round one knockout, dude. He was dropping them with jabs, dude. What did he fucking knock him down? 3 or 4 times, dude. Just kept dropping him. I felt bad for Juicy J in there, but sheesh. Larry and Douglas, round one and knockout. He ain't nothing to mess around with. He's got some power. Thoughts on this fight?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, this is, because I know you would pick that Juicy J. This is really how I saw the fight going, was that, that Juicy J does have the veteran experience, but he is, chinny, at this stage of his career. And, Douglas just has that, as you can see, that otherworldly power, dude. Just, to drop him with multiple jabs like that, it was like he would jab him, Rosa falls back. Cage kind of catches him. He stands back up. He kind of like swings a little sloppy because he's still buzzed. And all of a sudden, another jab hits him. And then he just falls back again. And it's like, dude, like he's just getting his head snapped back constantly. But dude, I'm going to be excited to see Lehion Douglas fight because, dude, the put it on guys, that power the way he can, it's going to be he's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah. Moving on. Nico Price, Mike Jason, dude. They did the like the pre-tape, like the walkout, like like they like say, this is what I'm gonna do in this fight. And I heard fucking Mike Jason say the best way to go out in Seattle would be by submission. I was like, oh, Nico Price getting subbed. Everyone that bet the Mike Jason KO I'm sorry, y'all. It just ain't happening. Like he even says that's what he wants to do. He's never gotten knocked out. He says he wants to get the sub in his hometown on the way out against a fucking dude. How can I describe Nico Price right now? Imagine you have a paper towel, right? Blow your nose with it. You leave it in the pocket of your pants. Those pants go on to get washed. You then find said pants, 2 weeks later, and although that towel is still in the pocket, it is shredded, and it's been washed, to bits, some may say. And I think that's the best way that I can describe Nico Price right now is a paper towel that's been left in your pants pocket that has gone through the washer and the dryer, maybe even a couple times at this point. Dude, Mike Chiesa retires. They give him a package. Shout out Mike Chiesa riding off into retirement on the win. Nico Price takes off his gloves and they're like, get the fuck out of here, nerd. Like, they did not care one single bit, dog. They did not care at all.
I mean, to be fair, Nico Price, 1, was the sacrificial lamb. 2, he took the fight on short notice, and they did know that he was supposed to retire. But dude, this was set up for Michael Chiesa. This was supposed to be his retirement fight, even before he fought Carlson Harris. Because that was the original opponent. It was all set up. Michael Chiesa's retirement fight in his hometown. He does commentary for the UFC. I'm not surprised that Nico Price didn't get really any love because it was last second. And even though he might have said that week that, hey, I'm going to retire. I mean, you're going up against a guy who we like, who's also retiring. Like, I mean, we're not going to make a video package for you as well. So at least not in this tight of moment. So yeah, I mean,
They even give him an interview. They even give him the hey, are you retired?
Yeah, but I mean, what are you supposed to? I mean, I believe me, I love me some Nico Price, but it's
be
kind
honest.
of a tough
Do y'all think Nico continues on the regional scene? Dude, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw him back in the UFC.
But he does BKFC. He's 1,000% going to BKFC.
It wouldn't surprise me if we seen him on another UFC schedule, dog. I'm like, you ain't retiring, dog.
No. He's retiring from MMA. I bet money that was probably his last UFC fight, which again was probably why he took that fight so quickly compared to his last fight. He's not retiring from combat sports. He might be done with the UFC, but yeah, he'll definitely be back on BKFC dirty boxing and something like that.
Yeah. Might even be PFL champion. Who knows?
Yeah.
Moving on up, dude. We saw a murder this past weekend. Alexa Grasso I don't use this word a lot. Alexa Grasso dusted Macy Barber, dude. Like straight dustpan, broom and dustpan. Just cleaned her up, dog. Hit her so hard she turned the other way. She did the ballerina dance, knocked her out, hit her again while she was on the ground, and then sunk up the choke. Then I guess she choked her out. So knockout and submission at the same time. Honestly, probably my finish of the year right now, dude. That was brutal. And it was all from a fighter that I love, man. Shout out Alexa Grasso. And it was against someone that I love to just fucking make fun of, dog. So it couldn't have been. Maybe if it was against Aaron Blanchfield, I would have felt a little happier, dog. But man, even against Macy Barber, dude, her coach in the locker room right before the fight was like, y'all remember round 3 in the last fight? That's how this whole fight's going to look. And as soon as that happened, dog, I was like, dog, you're a fucking dork. You just shut the fuck up. So, not happy. I guess I'm not happy like that happened like that. But the way that it did happen, maybe it's just me hating Macy Barber, dog. After the ref pulled her off the choke, she was like trying to take down Mike Beltran. And then he like pulled her off and was like, hey, fight's over. Then Macy Barber lays there with her eyes open for the next 10 minutes while the camera zooms in on it. I don't want to say like she was playing it up a little bit, dog, but you were fine a second ago, and then now you're going to lay on the ground with your eyes open for God knows how long, dog. And the camera was just looking at it. Like the camera did not turn away from Macy Barber's blue eyes, just staring off into the fucking distance. So I don't know, kind of weird how it looked. Kind of looked something like the Adolfo Bellato thing when that happened. But shout out Alexa Grasso for absolutely tuning up Macy Barber this past weekend. If I would have picked her for pick champ, and then I would be pick champ right now, but I'm not. Thoughts on the fight, D-Rose?
Well, I was just really surprised at the way, Macy Barber was willing to stand and really kind of stand in the boxing range with Grasso and trade. Because yes, she did it in the 3rd round of their last fight, but she did it in the 3rd round after, I would say, both girls were probably pretty tired after the first 2 rounds. Because, there were some wrestling exchanges, there were some clinch exchanges. Grasso, had that nice sweep in the first round of their first fight where, in the second round where she ended up transitioning into that arm bar. And then in the 3rd round, Grasso was obviously a little bit more worn down, and Macy was able to use her pressure. You're going to stand right in boxing range with a fresh Alexa Grasso. And
dog, she was just the champion tuning up Valentina Shevchenko. Like, are you forgetting that?
Yeah, I mean, and I understand that, and Macy, she can, stand and strike as well. But to me, I thought that her game plan, seeing how Valentina was able to kind of easily take down Alexa Grasso. I don't even know did Macy even attempt a takedown? Like, I don't even know if she
only lasted 2 minutes. So, I mean...
Yeah, I would have to look at the the stat count to make sure, but to me, I thought Macy would try to use her wrestling, and to me, for her not using that, she ultimately paid. I would say the to call her Adolfo Bellato was a little wild, because if Macy is going to wrestle the ref, that lets me know that she's not okay, because she got knocked out and choked at the same time. Like when Grasso went for the choke, it was such a savage way. And when she went for the choke, but Macy's arm is limp when she's choking her. Like Macy's arm is
they're fucking both out. Yeah, like they're fucking both out.
Like she's literally out. So I would not be surprised if she did kind of went in and out of consciousness there. But I am with you that I think probably because there was the moment where DC said on the commentary where he was like, "Hey, she's up," and then everybody thought she was like, "Oh, like standing up." And no, I think he meant she's up as in like, "Oh, she's conscious now."
Like she
And then she
blinked.
sat for another, and then she sat for another 2 or 3 minutes. And I think at that point it was kind of the realization of like, damn, like I got put out. This is where I'm at. Like I really think it all just kind of sunk in with her because it was like I asked for this. This is the rematch I asked for. I got a big moment, co-main event on a big card, and damn, I got smoked. It's really all she could say.
Yeah, maybe, dude. Moving on up, main event. Breaks my damn heart, dog, because Izzy was looking so good. I don't tweet a lot. After round one, I was like, Joe Pyfer's arms looked like they looked heavy, like he was having trouble throwing punches at the end of like round one. I was like, is he already tired? But looking back on all the Joe Pyfer fights, that's kind of how it goes. Like after fucking round one, he kind of slows down quite a bit. Round two, Izzy starts the leg kick, dog, and Joe Pyfer was not liking that. I was like, oh, arms are heavy, legs toast already, in an Eminem voice there with the fucking shady music playing in the fucking background. I thought Izzy had this wrapped up, dog. And then at some point, Izzy, I think he thought he hurt Joe Pyfer, and he kind of blitzed in and got like clipped, then started backing up. I don't know how he ended up on the ground, but Joe Pyfer's ended up on his back. And at that point, I was like, fuck, here it is again, dog. It's like Izzy was looking so good until he was. This isn't Michael Johnson levels of looking good until it's not, dog. Izzy was like styling on Joe Pyfer. And then just one little moment just led to the end of the fight happening, dog. I don't understand. Give me Izzy versus GM3. I need to see Izzy get a fucking win next, dog. Give me your thoughts on the fight.
Yeah, just rough to watch because, as you said, I thought Izzy was really having some success there, and I believe they said all three judges did give him the first round, and he was landing the leg kicks too. But for me, I am with Antoine. I'll touch on that here in a second, but I do think that Israel looked good, and I don't know what it was, if it was just maybe the biggest thing that I did kind of really notice is that his reflexes aren't as quick as he once was when he's able to kind of do the lean back and dodge big strikes and stuff like that. So it was almost like, to me, when he kind of did that moment where he kind of wanted to stand and trade, I think it was almost kind of like because he realized that like his reflexes weren't as good, but he was willing to take one to give one, I think, in that instance. And I think that's ultimately what was his downfall, because that was never Izzy's style in his career at all, was willing to take one to give one. His style was, and he said it after, one of his big fights, I don't throw and hope, I aim and fire. Like, I'm not out here, I'm out here to, hit and not get hit. He's been willing to put up, kind of dull performances like against Jared Cannonier to ultimately win the fight. And I'm not saying that, you have to do that every time, but I thought there was a path there against Joe Pyfer to do that. And he kind of got a little bit reckless there and ultimately ended up paying the price because, you going in there with the power puncher like Pyfer, if there's one thing we know that Joe Pyfer can do, Joe Pyfer can crack. Like, he dropped Kelvin Gastelum, what was it, 3 times in the first round when Pyfer and Gastelum fought. Like, dude, we know Pyfer can thump, man. So that's not the dude you want to stand in there and trade with. And ultimately Izzy paid the price. I think Demetrius Johnson said he thought Izzy broke his nose. But from there, when Izzy had or when Joe Pyfer had Izzy's back on the ground, and when Izzy's like has his eyes closed because he's like super uncomfortable,
Like you'd see his like eyes like fucking watering, like dude,
Yeah.
me Me, when I get hit in the nose, dude, my eyes start to water up so much and I can't see shit. And I know that's exactly what happened. Like, yeah, I hit like right over the back of the nose. And you see his eyes just like start to like water up. And, dude, it's so painful because you can't see anything.
Yeah, well, I think it was also one of the big punches that when Piper landed on the feet, right before the takedown. Because honestly, I think that was the punch that kind of really hurt Izzy and kind of put him on put him on shaky legs to ultimately get him put out. And, good win from Piper. And like I said, he's super talented. I'm going to love to see where he goes from here because I think, he can make a bunch of fun fights up at the top. But
Man, I hate Joe
obviously,
Piper.
wanted to see Izzy get
I
the
don't
win.
like him at all. I don't like him one single bit, dog.
Yeah, well, there are people who like Joe Piper, and I mean, he brings a fun style, and he's somebody that the UFC is going to push because he's a potential American star. But at the end of the day, this was about Izzy, and we didn't want to see him get the win, and ultimately he didn't.
I don't really like to get into the weeds on this shit too much, but did you hear like in the post fight how he said that he thought about offing himself like fucking 2 weeks ago or some shit like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I saw some shit that came out, and this is the reason that he found God now. What I heard that happened is he's married, right? And he got
He's not
caught
married
with,
yet.
or he's about to get married, but got caught with the side chick. So his soon-to-be wife was about to call everything off, and he threatened to do that, and then now he's found God because he got caught with the side chick. That's what I heard. I was like, dude, you're a fucking chode. You're a chode, dog.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much yeah. I mean, I think that internet story, it kind of adds up a little bit, but Joe Piper, I'm not gonna get into the whole thing, but just in terms of him just making fun matchups, I think he can make some fun matchups, but yeah, for like the turn, I will say in most of the interviews that he's had, he seemed to have been pretty consistent in his message. But let's just see if it continues. That's really what I want to see. If I don't want to call him fake just yet because it's still early, but I would like to see more.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Anyway, so that was the fights from this past weekend, which leads us in to, I know, some of y'all's favorite part, not my favorite part. Who should he fight next? Kyle, Joe Piper? I don't know. D-Rose, what do you think?
I mean Piper, Kyle, that'd be a fun fight. Maybe Fluffy. I mean, honestly, I was gonna say RDR. I think the RDR fight would be pretty fun itself, but I don't know where they're going to put RDR at this point with him losing 2 in a row. But I think Piper, I know he's moved up to number 6, but I mean it's safe to say that he beat Izzy, but he hasn't really beaten a lot of top middleweights yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up fighting down the rankings in his next fight.
Yeah. Antoine, maybe you'll be able to spot it like when you get a little bit older, dog. I just think I've just seen too many fake people at this point, though. Where I'm like, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, well,
anyway.
Antoine, that's why I said I want to keep seeing it, because ultimately at the end of the day, I'm a God-fearing man myself. So I'm not necessarily a Bible thumper, but I try to live within the the way that that God has instructed us to. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to shame him for it. But I would like to see the message be consistent. If he's going to be this guy, then be
and
this
not just because that happened.
Right, correct.
I got you. Kind of something like John D. Rose, probably something like it.
Well, the problem with John was that he was, not even just that he was living the party lifestyle, and not even like the party lifestyle, but just doing a lot of stuff that he shouldn't have been doing, and was trying to use the religion as a cover up. wild.
You need some help, brother. All right, Theros. Let's get into the Wheel of Doom. So, what's going to happen here? I'm going to spin the Wheel of Doom. Will it be fire or will it be sour? Dog, I'm not trying to eat Carolina Reaper beans this week. So far, the worst I've had was sriracha. It is here. The sour and the fire is in the bag. So without any further ado, let's spin the Wheel of Doom.
That California,
Sour this week.
oh,
Sour this week. Acting like it fucking still isn't terrible is awful, Zeros. Let's see you eat these fucking sour bitches every fucking week, dog.
Well, hey, my pick game been up again. If I could put this in my bet luck, then I'll be all right.
Dog, clean sweep incoming with this trash can card this weekend. I've been doing my research. I just need you to pick the right fights. We're either going to pick the same fights always this whole card, or I'm clean sweeping you this week. All right, so the sours. Mega sour, if you're wondering if you guys ever want to do this, feel free to go ahead and give it a try. If you say it's not sour, feel free to buy it on Amazon.
You can join Matt every week and do it with him.
I just see it in my jaw start fucking twinging. All right, here we go.
It's the bean box. And it don't stop. Matt got the sour drop. And it makes his jaw crouch. It's real sour. It pack a punch.
Whoa.
The old spicy jelly beans will make him lose his lunch.
What other clothes?
It looks like you're having a stroke.
Well, we agreed off camera last week that we weren't putting in our jaw, so it was right on the tongue. I didn't hear a word I just said.
And that hole is just. It feels like a lighter's on your tongue. Like that's literally what it feels like.
Oh.
Let it become you, man.
Well, the fuck up part is last week we agreed not to put it in our jaw, and so I was just letting it sit in the middle of my mouth the whole time. Anyway,
dude, I'm telling you, when you put in, when you let it rest on your jaw, pause. Yeah, because I had to get that in there. Yeah, it feels like there's gonna be a hole in my jaw.
It's a shoot now.
Hey, it's the bean box. And it dumps.
Antoine never heard the music yet?
Eating all the sour drops. And it don't stop. Yeah, it packs a punch. Yeah.
No, dude. Just relax, dude. That's rough, dog.
Bean box. Yeah, it's real.
They're
rough.
gonna win. They're gonna win.
Let's go.
Dude, after every time I start sweating, dog. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Why am I sweating after eating something sour?
Dude, you gotta get your picks up, man. We've been here.
One of these days, dog. One of these fucking days.
We've been here.
Nah, it was the music for the wheel. Oh, the fucking rock music. Dude, this thing's shooting out again.
Yeah. The real BML.
All right. With that being said, that's the Wheel of Doom this week, and it's all because I don't know how to fucking pick fights. Thankfully, it wasn't the Carolina Reaper bean because that could have been real fucking bad. Hopefully, D-Rose gets that shit next week. Let's get into our UFC news and fight announcements. Ah, man.
Let's go.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough for this card this weekend. I know we're talking about fight announcements right now, but dude, this card is rough. Like we might fly through that card.
There's a good chance. That's why the show's fun today, D-Rose. That's why I've spent a little bit of time on the recap from this past weekend.
Hey, I will say, just before we do start pushing forward, card of the year easily, right? Like that card this past weekend, all finishes on the main card. I went back and actually watched, besides the Marcin Tybura and Tyrell Fortune fight, the fights that I missed, I went back and watched every one of them, even the decisions. Definitely card of the year this past weekend, UFC Seattle.
It was a fun card, man. It was fun. Antoine, before we dig into MMA news, did y'all hear about NBA player Jaden Ivey? Yeah, I saw that, man. Can you just let people, dude? It's like, I guess a person will have an opinion and then they'll just fucking blow it out of a fucking proportion. Like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have shared that, brother. But at the same time, it's not like he said Bryce Mitchell level shit. like it's like it's his opinion. I think at this point, dude, after being like in the military, dude, it's like you realize that you fight so the person can say whatever they want, dude, and it's like they can hate you, but that's why I fucking did what I did to say that I fought for the freedoms that we have today. Yeah. What's your thoughts on the whole thing, D-Rose?
Yeah, just kind of loosely following it. It's kind of the big problem with the kind of like the team sport aspect and stuff like that compared to UFC, and that kind of part and reason why I would say is I've kind of stopped following the NBA over the last few years. I don't know. I just obviously I like to stick it to the sport and stuff like that. I'm not following every personality, but yeah. Dave says the most ridiculous stuff in here, especially in the chats. But yeah, this just a weird situation with the NBA overall, and I don't think Jay
like it's like
he does sound like he's a little wacky, but
like it's like I like the equivalent. If I thought fucking Josh Hokett was in the NFL, I thought fucking right now he would have been like suspended X amount of games, right?
He wouldn't be suspended. A team would just cut him and nobody would sign him.
Yeah, right. So it's like it's just two different sports, man. It's just two different sports. All right, let's get into our news for this weekend. I have something on my fucking story that I wanted to click because I got a couple things there that are funny.
Yeah, bring up some pictures. Do word association. Fire through some pictures here. Nate, first word that comes into your head.
Conor McGregor. Next. GSP. OG.
There you go.
Yeah. Obnoxious.
Gay.
Poto. The Grinch.
Okay, there you go.
The man.
Yeah, the man, bro.
Who's that?
Who is that?
Dude,
That's Lindsey Graham.
Like
he's the guy who everybody is saying.
He was like the first thing that comes to mind. He's like Conor McGregor. it's like a picture.
Funny. Hey, see that right there, though, Theo? That's why people should learn jiu-jitsu.
And then we got
right. If he'd have stepped up right then,
yeah, because I'm gonna fucking.
Here we go. Aim this one.
It goes to our efforts to make sure.
Before I call the member for Kooyong, I have a few acknowledgements to do today. For guests in the gallery, I'm pleased to inform the House that present in the front row of the gallery today are the hardworking firefighters from the great state of Victoria joining us today. I'm also pleased to inform the House that in the gallery today is Mr. Alex Volkavensko, the current and two-time UFC featherweight champion and the first Australian-born fighter to win a UFC title. We have members of the
Volkavinsko. Volkavinsko.
Volkavinsko. Like that's crazy. I will say, being like a UFC MMA fan, like you learn to kind of pronounce like tough names because you just because where the tough names you see in this sport. But Volkanovski's kind of pretty. Obviously, we've known him for a little bit at this point, but kind of pretty rookie at this point if you can't pronounce Volkanovski.
Especially in Australia, dog. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
All right. So Antoine already saying he got Jordan Levitt as what Big Marcel posted right here. So we'll go ahead and click Big Marcel's thing right here. Yeah, looks like he's already posted a few since then. So where was that one at? Oh, yes, right down there. So we'll start down here. Where did we do? Yeah, we did that one last week. Did we do this one last week? Shauna Bannon, Nicole Cagliari. I don't think we did that. Dude, I don't understand.
You could have not started here.
Dude, I just, what is UFC's goal with Shauna Bannon, dude? It's like she's about as threatening as fucking a fish in a fish tank, dog. Like, what is happening?
Yeah. Again, you could have not started here. I mean, I didn't. If this fight happened, if this fight happened 3 times, I would never know it happened.
That's fair, dude. All right, moving on to the next one that you just care about. Anyway, we got Chuck Buffalo, Charlie Radke taking on Francisco Prado, dude. I don't like Francisco Prado up at 170, man. It just is what it is. I think he's too small, but should be a fun fight, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he just doesn't have a nutritionist, I guess I would say, because, yeah, I'm with you. I think Prado at 155 makes a lot more sense, but I think this could be potentially a fun fight. They'll probably be similar size, so similar records as well. So, yeah, I think it'd be a fun fight.
All right, let's see. On the next one, we got Timmy Kwamba taking on Bernardo Sopai. Thoughts on that one?
Not a bad fight. I mean, Bernardo Sopai, he's been pretty solid so far since that debut against Vinicius Oliveira. So, he's been pretty solid, and Timmy Kwamba, he's looked pretty good. Was it his last fight he got a KO in? I believe it was, or it might have been his last fight before. Anyway, but yeah, this should be a pretty solid fight.
All right. Moving on, we got Ray Saruga taking on Jesus Aguilar. Ray Saruga is a good wrestler. Jesus Aguilar, good wrestler. Going to be in Macau, dude.
Yeah, that's again, you know how I am betting Jesus Aguilar underdog, but that I will admit that's a tough fight for Jesus Aguilar, but
because he'll be the underdog for sure.
Yeah, he will be the underdog, depending on how big the line. Because again, I think I pretty much bet Jesus Aguilar in every fight that he's been in the UFC, like underdog, like just money line. Like I have bet him in every fight. Depending on if it's kind of a small line, I'm probably gonna stay away. If he's minus 280 or more, I'll probably take a swing.
All right, we'll see. Moving on. Matchup. We got Dennis Bazooka returning to the UFC to take on Mauricio Barbosa. Don't know who that is. Surprised Dennis Bazooka. They're letting him fight again. 1-3 in the UFC, which tells me they gave him a new contract, dude, because this is fight number 5 now.
I mean, this could maybe be his last fight too. Some guys do get, some guys get 5, some guys get 7, as far as their contract. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was his last fight and he's just trying to get one in before, he can ultimately get out of his contract. But yeah, it should be a fun fight. But not, I know Barbosa was on Contender Series, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. We've got Tuco Tokos. Yeah, just absolute world championship contender here, taking on Ivan Erslon. Did you care about that one at all?
Yeah, this fight is so like enthralling that I just can't even like find the words to speak about it. Like it's crazy.
Well, we know Tacos is tough because Navajo Sterling couldn't knock him out, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Joe Anderson, Brito, Jordan Levitt. I'm excited for this one. But of course, they put it in the Apex, dog. Why do they do that? Jordan Levitt at 145. He's got some size, though. It's going to be in June. Thoughts on this fight?
Yeah. I'd be lying if I said I probably wasn't with Antoine here. Yeah, especially considering how, Joe Anderson Brito got, completely controlled by Sabatini in that last fight. Yeah, I think I'm with him, man. I think Jordan Levitt he'll probably be a pretty decent favorite if I had to guess. At least like minus 180 or more.
Antoine, let me ask you guys, do you guys really think the UFC is on a downward trajectory, or are fans just desensitized from fights? I guess I don't understand.
People are doing a lot of bitching about it. I will say,
about what though?
Like MMA media is just like, oh, the UFC is not trying.
Dude, here's one thing that I've seen, and I don't understand. Everyone is saying that this MVP card is going to shit on the White House card, dog, and I'm like, you just look at it and you're like, dude, name one fighter on the card that hasn't been in the UFC and then retired from getting old.
Right. They do.
It's all old UFC fighters, dog. It's like
they do have a few prospects on there. Like they have a few prospects on there, and I think they have Alex Pereira's sister on the card. If I remember.
So
correctly.
what, dog?
The quality
people are acting like people are acting like fucking Netflix and MVP is going to come in and take over UFC. It's like, dude, all of those fighters were already in the UFC. They're old and they retire. What it would take for something like that to happen would be fighters in their prime, like Jean Silva, Diego Lopez, Kevin Vallejos, all of them in the 5 to 10 rankings, all of them to leave in every division to maybe compete with the UFC, because UFC's got Contender Series. They're pumping shit out nonstop. If the top 10 fighters left in every division, maybe there would be some kind of competition. You could argue back and forth. But right now, dog, it's no competition. I don't think there's a downward trajectory at all. For me, it's an Apex card. We get about 5 or 6 ass ones per year. Ain't shit changed. And it's free now, dog. I ain't got to buy the pay-per-view. I'm as happy as ever with this fucking product, dog. I don't care. I'm going to watch it either way. Anyway, what's your thoughts on Antoine's question?
Yeah. I just think people just doing a lot of griping. Like I said, MMA media has been doing a lot of griping about it and stuff. But, I don't necessarily think it's been, on a downward trajectory. I think the sport's been fine. Obviously there's been a couple cards that have lacked. The thing that you want to see is so a couple years ago when it was Usman, Izzy, and Volk as champs, those were 3 champions that were pretty routinely, you were going to see them 2 to 3 times a year.
So is the argument now that there's just no stars?
Yeah, that's kind of like the big thing is that, and I will say, so when Hamza's taking a lot of time off in between his fights, and Islam is well established now, I would say it's a pretty well-known UFC fighter, but you still would like to see him a little more active. So I will say in that sense, fans are correct, but I just think in terms of again, I'm with you.
But that's not UFC's fault though. They fucking lost the fights, dog. They were pushing Sean O'Malley so much. You fucking lost to Merab twice, dog. It is what it is,
Yeah. Yeah, no, exactly. But I just mean Merab fought a lot of times, so that was a champion that kind of helped him out in fighting a lot, and Alex Pereira helped him out in certain spots. But now I guess you're just not getting those types of guys fighting on rotation as much. And I guess people just think the star power overall just hasn't been as strong. But no, I just think that overall, once we start getting this year going, because this Miami card, like the Apex card, is going to be rough. The Apex card will this weekend, but we got the Miami card coming up. That Miami card is going to be a banger.
Dude,
If you
that
look up and down
that
card,
on paper right now looks like that's on paper, that's the best one of the year right now.
Yes, absolutely. Then you have Hamzat and Sean and May, and then you have the White House card in June. You possibly have McGregor coming back in July. So like the sport is in a good spot. Like had to hit a few rough cards, yes, but we just went 6 weeks without it, and we were bitching about not having it. So again, it's here. We're going to have a few rough cards because they're going as consistently as they are. But there will be your few cards like UFC Seattle every once in a while that basically remind us why we watch it all the time.
Yeah, man. Just kind of going through the comments here. I agree like this. Phoenix Priest. Is it bad day when the UFC drops any fight card? My ass still gonna watch it. Same here, man. I'm just trying to make a buck. Let me cash my fucking parlay fucking lottery ticket. Yeah. But people just want to complain, Antoine. That's all it is, man. They're still gonna watch it. Anyway, getting back to the rest of our news. See what else we got here. Max Jimenez taking on Marcus Buchecha, dude. Max Jimenez has no striking at all. He's a jiu-jitsu guy, and he's going to take it on Marcus Buchecha, which is a jiu-jitsu guy. If I get a close line, dude, I'm hammering Marcus Buchecha in this fight. Here we go. Kalen Souza, Ariane Carnelossi. You care about that one?
Yeah, I like Caitlin Souza. So Carnelossi, she's tough, so might be tough.
Dude, she's got arms like mine, dog.
But yeah, she's tough. So yeah, Caitlin
you're like
Souza
you
can
fucking wish. You wish your arms looked like hers.
Yeah, no, seriously. But yeah, no, Souza's a fun fighter. So yeah, that'd be one I watch.
Dude, this should be a banger. I guarantee you Billy Elkanah kisses his toes at least once in this fight.
I mean, he might be kissing his toes, and then he might be kissing the mat. he might be either that, or he kisses his toes and then gets sat on his wallet. It's gonna be he's gonna be kissing toes or sitting on wallets because Barnowski, that dude, he's been a lightning rod so far in the UFC, and dude is all gas no brakes and putting everybody out. So but Billy Elkanah's looked pretty good his last few fights, so should be a solid fight.
Yeah, here we go. We got Rafa Garcia taking on Alexander Hernandez if it happens, I guess. Thoughts on that one?
That's actually a pretty solid fight. And Alexander Hernandez, obviously he got the knockout against Chase Hooper his last fight, but didn't Rafa Garcia have a big knockout in his last fight? I don't know why I have on the top of my head that he just knocked somebody out, but he had like a late finish. I thought it wasn't one of his fights, but I thought you might remember off the top of your head. But Rafa's looked good his last few fights on with the boxing as well. So yeah, that's a pretty solid matchup.
Yeah. Do you think the issue that Alexander Hernandez had to fucking pull out of the last fight for is going to affect him here? Because he was going to fight fucking Michael Johnson, like when I came to town there, and then that fight got pulled.
Right, because the bet and stuff. But I mean, I guess the UFC feels good enough in their investigation that they vetted it thoroughly and there was no foul play. I mean, that's the only thing I can really think. I really don't. Other than that, I really don't know. It's it's kind of a tough call.
I'll have to see. We got Dakota it's this weekend. Loma Lukbumi taking on Jackie Amorim. Dude, why does Jackie Amorim? I get her confused with this other girl that fights the exact same. I don't know, dog. I get her confused. Who's the girl? Man, they're both jiu-jitsu girls and they look the exact same. Fuck. Anyway, do you care about this one at all or no?
Loma Lukbumi's okay, but other than that, I really don't. Yeah, I really don't care.
All right, fair enough. We've got Arichi Lang taking on Cody Haddon. Cody Haddon, tough guy, yeah.
Yeah. Rishi Lang. I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, I'm like still surprised that he's in the UFC, but
hey, 4-4, 0-1.
Yeah.
All right, and then we have Rongju Victor Martinez. Care about that one at all?
Isn't Victor Martinez the dude who Jordan Levitt ran through?
Yes.
Wait, why am I thinking that?
Yeah, because
right?
because he fucking smoked him, like fucking Jordan Levitt fucking knocked out the knee.
That's why I'm like, this dude's still in the UFC. So yeah, I mean, dude, Rongju's going to be.
I mean, he's 0-2. Victor the Brick Martinez, about as useless
What's
as
Rongju
that.
going to be minus? He's going to be minus.
In China, dog. 600,
500.
500.
Rongju's going at the close of that fight. Rongju's going to be minus 500.
Yeah. Is this? It says road to UFC in Macau. So I don't know if this is going to be on a fight card or not. I hate when they do this. Which, fuck, I clicked the X. It's all right.
It's like
I saw the
Ultimate
next
Fighter
one.
finale cards.
Yeah.
I
saw this one, dude. Dude, Ming Shi, Puja Tamar, dude. Let me know what's the max I can bet on Ming Shi, dog. What is the most I can bet on this fight? I'm about to go take out a loan and fucking bet on fucking Ming Shi to fucking beat the shit out of Puja Tamar. Oh god.
Yeah, I ain't doing all that. Yeah, I'll let you take that. I ain't trying to do all that now.
Dude, all my money is going on 13 Sister. Ming Shi. What a fight name, dog. 13 Sister. Anyway, on split with that last fight will be the rest of the loan will be on Emanal Rodriguez. The knockout match though, because I'm going to be unloading on this one as well, dog. What's your thoughts here?
Dude, I thought Matt Schnell retired like 3 different times.
Dude, like, he has to get a win.
How is he still here?
I don't know, dog.
Dude. Did he not just get the win against Jimmy Flick?
Just out here double tapping. I don't know, dog. Antoine, I don't want to answer this fucking question because the last time I did, I just got pissed off waking up early to see fucking Kyle Nelson smoking Michel Pereira. I don't want to talk about it. Yes, I do wake up. Whatever the fuck his name is, dog. I'm so pissed off. I woke up early for this. Just came out there, just smoked Michel Pereira. Fucking. Anyway, we got CJ, Energy Johnson, Asu Almabayev. I feel like this fight's already been scheduled, no? Or fucking CJ just fights every.
I think it was supposed to be on. Because who did. He was supposed to fight. Yeah, I felt like you're right. I felt like this fight was booked at one point in time before, but it didn't happen. Yeah, I'm with you. I don't know when. It might have been the Alex Perez fight. Maybe was that what it was?
I have no idea, man.
Because Alex Perez ended up taking that fight on short notice.
Oh god, dude, I have AIDS now. Fucking thinking about fucking Kyle Dawkins and fucking Michel Pereira, dude. Just this pisses me off. I need to go get tested. Anyway, here we go. We got Tommy Gant versus Trey. Dude, if I was to ask you what this guy's name was, it's A, B, C, or D. And one of the answers are Tommy Gant. But that would probably be your last guess.
Especially the last name, Gant.
Right, dog?
Yeah, especially the last name.
Like, he looks like he's coming out of the Congo, man. Like, I was expecting, like, what's the dude? Like, Lucene Keita, you know? Some shit like that. But nah, dog. Yeah, right? No. Tommy Gant versus Trey Ogden. Thoughts on that one? This is UFC debut,
yeah,
11-0 though.
Yeah, I was about to say I know Contender Series, tough guy, but yeah, I don't really have too many thoughts. Except that Trey Ogden looks like Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, just a little bit. Before all the charges.
Or before all the cheeseburgers.
Whatever. Anyway, we got Luana Santos versus Carol Hosa. What'd you think about this one, Antoine? Let us know your thoughts on Luana Santos. I know you're gonna let us know.
Hey, you know me.
Dave let us know first. Dave let us know first.
Yeah, you know me and some live laugh love. Nah, that's she's here. But man, you know how I am about Carol Hosa too. There's not too many women's fighters that I'm actually fans of.
I think her last fight was a big disappointment though, right? Who'd she fight last that fucking shit on all of us?
Santos?
Yeah, no, fucking Carol Hosa. Like, she fought someone last, and like it was a fucking snoozer. She just fucking didn't do shit.
Yeah, it was because she kept leg kicking chick. She won though, but yeah, I know who you're talking about though. But yeah, I think this should be a pretty fun fight. I mean, honestly, it's just it's a battle of Luana Santos being able to get it down to the ground, or is Carol Hosa going to just go into dog mode and just go in there and just scrap? So she's got pretty good takedown defense for the most part from what I've seen from Carol Hosa, but that's a fun fight, man.
Yeah, we'll see. We got Tim Magarembo taking on Jonathan McAuliffe. What's your thoughts on that
one? Pretty good fight. I think it's Micallef, he's he looked pretty good in his UFC debut. Well, I think he's got one finish, I think one decision, but no, he's looked pretty good so far in his UFC run, and I think he's kind of got a style to match up pretty well with Garembo, want to take it to the wrestling. So
what does that mean? That might have been one of shitty lips with no regrets. What the fuck does that mean?
Hey, I thought Dave had the van in park. What is he talking about over here?
That might be one of the best comments we've ever gotten. Anyway, we got the Blob taking on Brando Parachich. He just not fought. Going to be fighting Shamil Gaziev in Perth. What's your thoughts on that one? So he gets his Perth call out.
Damn. Yeah, he got it. And damn. I mean, that should be a fun fight. I wonder if Gaziev's going to actually make the fight. But I imagine Parachich is probably going to fight on that card regardless. But I'm curious to see if Gaziev actually makes it.
Yeah, dude, I don't think Tim is that good of a fighter, man. If I have to be honest, I know fucking D-Rose doesn't either. So I don't know, man. Just because The Rock fucking bought him a house, that's what he's known for. Vince Morales, Colby, slickness, thickness, dude. They don't ever give fucking Vince Morales a winnable fight. Really, I feel like this is a winnable fight for him. No, the only issue is it's in Perth.
Yeah, he was about to say, don't give him a winnable fight. I was like, if there is a winnable fight, I mean, it is Colby Thickness.
This is your opportunity, dog.
Look, I had picked him in his first two UFC fights. I picked Colby Thickness against Alessandro Topuria, okay? So, again, for me to say that, obviously this is a winnable fight for Vince Morales, but I do think that, Thickness has a good
the
IQ
line on this is going to be so much in favor of Colby Thickness just because people are going to look at the records, dog. Like, Vince Morales is 16-10. He might be the best 16-10 fighter out there, though, dude. His UFC record is 3-8. He might be the best 3-8 fucking UFC fighter that's ever been on the roster, dog.
Of all time.
Dude, because Colby Thickness is for sure going to be a favorite here, yeah?
I mean, I would say so, but I don't think he's going to be any huge favorite because, I mean, look at Colby's last fight. He just, he's technical, but isn't dangerous. If that makes sense.
Yeah. Good punching bag for Volk. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. We got party time. Wes Schultz taking on something called Ben Johnson. I don't know what a Ben Johnson is, but he, making your UFC debut older than me and D Rose. Not a good dude. That's like if me and you started training. Dude, this guy is 5-1. He was born in 1990, so he's what, 35? Making his UFC debut, dog. That's like me and you start training, and in 2 years, we're like, let's make our UFC debut, dog. Hey, I would get my shit pushed in so quick, dog.
Never say never. Never give up on your dream.
What are we doing? That's the last fight announcement that I have. Do you Rose, anything that we didn't talk about?
No, I'm good to move along to the excellent card this weekend.
Dude, UFC Trash Can coming up. So this upcoming weekend, get off my screen, you damn ads. So this upcoming weekend, we have UFC Vegas 115. That's going to be happening in what has been renamed the Meta Apex. But let's see what you guys got to say. But I see that I'm confused. Oh, okay. There we go. Missed it. That makes sense. All right. Anyway, do you guys think he's prime at 35 since he's taking no damage? No, I do not. I think when I get up in the mornings, I do not feel the same as what I felt 5 years ago when I got up in the mornings. So I couldn't imagine 2 or 3 years from now, like, okay, let me go fight someone now, dog. I'm hurt when I wake up in the mornings, man.
You are not lying.
Yeah. Got it. 36.
Yeah, we're a little bit the same way.
Yeah. So this weekend, taking place at 5 p.m. East Coast time at the Meta Apex. We've got 13 fights to go over and is headlined by Chris Duncan taking on Hanato Money Moicano. And that is the main event. Co-main event is Verna Jandiroba, the most beautiful woman inside the UFC. Hands down, don't argue with me. That is a fact, not an opinion. She's be taking on probably one of the hands down the ugliest girls in the UFC, Tabitha Ricci. Ew. Anyway, feature fight of the night is Abdul Rahman Yagev taking on Vincent Navarro. Rafael Esteban taking on. We know what an Ethan Ewing is now, D Rose, and he is going to be fighting this weekend. We've got Tommy Gunn McMillan taking on Manello Zucchini. So that's a vegetable. And we've got Robert Rushola taking on Jose Delano. Looked good on the Contender Series. Tommy, the Train Peterson, taking on Guilherme Pat. We've got Alessandro Costa taking on Stuart Nickel. Lando Venata, still in the UFC, taking on Beast Mode. Not Marshawn Lynch. Darius Flowers. Anyway, Haley Cowan taking on Alice Pereira. Not Alex Pereira's sister, but the one we saw at Noche lose to Montserrat Rendon. Anyway, Azamat Bekoev taking on Chirigi and Gore. We've got Diani Barbosa taking on Melissa Gatto. And newly added Dakota Hope taking on Kai Kamaka III. I know you're excited for the Chirigi and Gore fight, right, D-Rose?
Oh, dude, I'm absolutely fired up. I mean, it's honestly what I've been looking forward to all year. I mean, UFC Miami be damned. I mean,
yeah. Now Dave says, "No, imagine getting out of bed at 37." Oh, I'll be there one day, Dave. I'll be there at one point. Let's get back to Vegas. Indeed, my wife, the great Why are you talking about your girl like that, Dave? Be nice, man. She's beautiful. Anyway, thoughts on the card as a whole, D Rose? I mean, I know we've been talking, a little trash about it, but there's a few names on here that we kind of recognize. I don't know what odds
there's
are.
There's 3 names we recognize. So. This card is cheeks, dude. This card is cheeks. Let's just face it. We know the names. Cool. This card is cheeks.
Yeah, like you're like, we watch all the fights. Of course we know the names.
yes, exactly. Yeah. Easily the worst card of the year. I mean, I'm going to keep it nice because I'm going to watch. D- every bit. I mean,
there. That's fair, man.
I mean, and again, the card could come out and they could be all finishes on the whole card, and you know what? You deliver above expectations, and we'll be happy. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not gonna be super hard pressed on watching all the fights this weekend.
Have y'all seen the show The Pit? I have not. Not Antoine. She likes that talking too. Okay, that makes sense. So, first fight of the night, D-Rose. Let me share my other screen so I can make my picks on it. First fight of the night is going to be Dakota Hope taking on Kai Kamaka III. I've done absolutely no research on this fight. I believe it got added today or yesterday, but I know Kai Kamaka has the UFC experience here. Probably been a little bit though, right? Fought in PFL, lost the Brendan Loughnane there, but I remember him being in the UFC, or am I wrong?
For some reason, I thought I remember him being in the UFC at one point in time too. Like I remember that name.
So we'll just say making his UFC return, taking on Dakota Hope. Don't know anything about Dakota Hope. As I said, haven't done any research, but just for UFC level, high level experience, give me Kai Kamaka III to win this fight via decision. How about you, D-Rose?
Yeah, this is not yeah, he did fight in the UFC. He went to PFL and Bellator, and now he is making his UFC return. So yeah, we are right on that. But yeah, again, I'm with you. Didn't do too much research in this thing at all. I'm just going to say Kai Kamaka here by decision, just because yeah, that's pretty much all I got on this one. Not gonna lie, don't have too much research done on this fight.
That's fair. Dakota Hope plus 128, your dog. Kai Kamaka minus 182, your favorite. Moving on to the next one, where we have Deani Barbosa taking on Melissa Gatto. This is another one where it's like, I ain't spending too much time here. Deani Barbosa is going to be the more jacked girl, going to be the, I think, more technical striker on the feet and have the grappling and just strength advantage, bully advantage, if you will. Give me Deani Barbosa. I'm leaning in between submission and decision. However, let's see. Lost decision to Karina Silva. One arm triangle. Lost Miranda Maverick decision. One decision. Give me Deani Barbosa via decision here, D-Rose. Odds for the fight, Melissa Gatto plus 117. Deani Barbosa is minus 128.
Yeah, this one's a little tough for me to pick. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I would honestly, because I know Melissa Gatto's got some pretty good. She got some pretty good striking. If I felt comfortable about her, just because she usually does not. She does not fight often at all. Like
that's so true. Look at that picture. Look at the iCarly picture, and then that one.
Dude, she kind of does a little bit, honestly. Right. I didn't even think about it, but
I'll be right back, D-Rose, so I can talk about this.
But yeah, I think Melissa Gatto, she's taking a lot of time off in between her fights. So, I mean, the last 4 years she's fought 4 times. So I mean, she's only really fought, once a year. Tajara Eubanks, 4 years ago. Tracy Cortez 3 years ago. Ariane Lipsky 2.5 years ago, and then her last fight was 1 year and 10 months ago. And it was winning against Tamaris Vidal as well, who I know Tamaris Vidal is not the best UFC fighter, but I think Deani Barbosa can come in here and get the fight down to the ground and get it done. Give me Deani Barbosa and give me by decision here to get it done.
All right, me and you agreeing on the same thing, it looks like. Moving on to the next one, we got Azamat Bekaev taking on, in Uncle Weezy's words, Teresian Gore. Mr. Vicious, Tresean Gore is 5-4 overall.
Is that really what he calls him? Like, is that
he calls him Teresian Gore? No, he does it on fucking purpose every time.
Okay.
He calls him Teresian.
Weezy.
Teresian Gore. Anyway, Azamat Bekaev 20-4 overall. Last lost his fight to Usari Belgarawi 5 months ago. That's the one D-Rose talked about earlier. Yeah, dude, Tresean Gore is not good, man. Give me Azamat Bekaev. Knockout let's go round 2 knockout, man. What's your thoughts here?
I'm curious to see if because Trayshawn Gore, he's got some pretty decent defensive wrestling, so I'm curious to see if this fight ends up getting played out on the feet. I'm picking Bukoyev here to get it done. The only thing that I do worry about with Bukoyev a little bit is that he, in that Bulgari fight, he was a little bit willing to kind of walk forward, and even in the couple fights that he's had in the UFC before, he was willing to walk forward. And Trayshawn Gore can't crack. I mean, Trayshawn Gore cracked, before he ended up losing Marco Tulio.
Josh Fremd?
Yeah. Antonio Trocoli. Any of those guys, but
right?
No, he did crack Marco Tulio a couple of times, even though he did get knocked out. So Trayshawn Gore can hit. Does Bukoyev just don't go in there and get a little too caught up in the brawl? I actually think Bukoyev ends up taking this down with the wrestling. I think Bukoyev gets it done by decision.
All right, that's fair. Me and D-Rose both on Bukoyev. Moving on to the next one, where we have Haley Cowan taking on Alice Pereira. Dude, this guy with 2 thumbs here is a WMMA connoisseur, yeah? I personally think Haley Cowan is she was like a volleyball player in high school, or like a fucking softball player like in high school. So she's athletic. But, dude, that is her only strength, dude. I don't know what she does. I don't know how she got to the UFC, dude. She's just the athletic girl, man. And you look on the other side, Alice Pereira, although didn't give a good account of herself in her last fight, she was undefeated before that. And she was 19 years old. She's 20 years old now, dude. She's kind of a big girl, too, dude. And I just think Haley Cowan gets disheartened and breaks when she's not winning the fight, man. And I just don't think she has the skills to win any part of the fight. So, going to be a snoozer. I don't like this fight. I could have went without this fight 10 times out of 10, but I will go Alice Pereira to win this fight via decision. Odds for the fight, Haley Cowan plus 115, Alice Pereira minus 125.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't have too much more analysis outside of that. I mean, I think, and for me, I think where Cowan's going to try to win the fight is going to be trying to get the fight down to the ground where, as you said, Alice Pereira, she's actually a pretty good sized chick. I mean, she's 5'10" at bantamweight, so that's a pretty tall woman, to fight at 135, and she's got some decent striking as a background. And she obviously was a little bit disappointed in her UFC debut. Didn't pull the trigger as much against Rendon, and Rendon hasn't looked the greatest since then either. I know she lost to Bia Mosquito, but I think Alice Pereira should be able to get the job done here. Give me a Pereira by decision.
That's fair, man. Me and you agree. And again, moving on to the next one, where we have he got his pants back and he's groovy. And his name is Lando Venata. 12-7-2 overall of his last 5 fights, 3 losses, 2 wins. 34 years old, 5'9", and a 71-inch reach. While beast mode, not Marshawn Lynch, but Darius Flowers, is 31 years old, 5'9", and a 71-inch reach. Out of his last 5 fights, 2 wins, 3 losses. Win on the Contender Series, lost to Jake Matthews, lost to Michael Johnson, and lost to Evan Elder. Yeah, I'm picking Lando Venata to win this fight, I think, just because Darius Flowers is not good. Probably by decision, dude. Lando's old, man. I guess if Darius Flowers was to win a fight, it would be against Lando Venata, but I can't even pick him to win against Lando Venata. D-Rose, who you got here?
That last part you said right there was exactly how I felt about this fight. If there was a fight that Darius Flowers could win at the UFC, it would be Lando Venata on a 2-fight losing streak who hasn't fought in 3 years. But yeah, I'd say at this point, I still got to take Lando Venata here to be able to get the job done. Darius Flowers doesn't have any wrestling at all, and I thought that he would have a little bit. I mean, Michael Johnson kind of took him down and played with him on the ground a little bit. Pause. So yeah, I think Lando Venata would be able to do the same here. Give me, you know what? Sneaky enough, Van Nata's actually got a pretty sneaky guillotine choke himself. Give me a Van Nata submission round 2.
Is he going to choke the pants off of Beast Mode?
He might, or Beast Mode might act like he's going out for a second and hoping Van Nata lets go, so he can try to get back up and try to get back into the fight.
Dude, that happened 4 years ago, man. So we were doing the podcast at that point. Or that may have been on the time that we took a little break. Because we took a little break for like 6 months.
When Darius Flowers? When he
when when fucking Charles fucking Jourdain like fucking choked the pants off.
I do think that was I think we might have been on a little bit of a break at that point, but still a funny moment in time.
Anyway, moving on to the next one, we got Alessandro Costa, Stuart Nickel. Man, Alessandro Costa let us down in his last fight against Alden Correa. I guess he had a toe problem at UFC Noche, I believe. Was at that fight and just, kind of a letdown because Alessandro Costa was a pretty big favorite. Heavy wrestling dude. Odds for the fight right now for this are Alessandro Costa minus 383, Stuart Nickel plus 335. I agree, man. I think Alessandro Costa just bigger, stronger here, man. I know he's not taller, but he's going to be so much more jacked than Stuart Nickel is. And the Australian coming in off of 2 fights, losing to guillotine against Jesus Aguilar and then losing to Lucas Rocha via decision. I think it's about time Alessandro Costa continues his streak and gets another win here. Do I think it's via decision? Yeah, let's go. Alessandro Costa via decision. What's your thoughts here?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be hard for us to have a
Did you see
big
Dave?
champ this week.
Least mode. He said it would be least mode.
Dude, swear to goodness. Dude, swear. It's crazy. Yeah, because Darius Flowers is maybe cheeks mode because he is absolutely cheeks. That's about it. But yeah, honestly, it's gonna be hard for us to have a pig champ this week when we're in lockstep with a lot of these fights. So I'll say there's been 2 underdogs that I was thinking about picking, and that was Darius Flowers, and the other one was Stuart Nickel, but I just can't make myself pull the trigger on him. I mean, he got Lucas Rocha, and I know that's a pretty tough fight, but he also got submitted by Jesus Aguilar, and he hasn't really looked the greatest since he's been in the UFC. So Stuart Nickel just isn't giving me anything to be willing to pull the trigger on him for. I mean, Costa's definitely got all the ability to get it done. He's a younger guy. The more UFC experience, he should be able to get it done. And I'm going to take a shot on the dog. I'm going to go Stuart Nickel here to get it done. Let's go by decision. Stuart Nickel's got to get a win eventually, right? Or, why is he even here? Costa can get taken down at times. Let's see if Stuart Nickel can get it done with the takedowns here.
All right. So first different pick of the day. I'm on Alessandro Costa. D Rose is on Stuart Nickel. They spell it Nicoll.
Nicoll. Yeah. Man. What am I doing?
All right. What's up, Matty Mac? How you doing? Main fight should be gravy. I don't know, man. I'm going back and forth on the main event this week. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. Is Marshawn top 10 running? Probably. Nuggets selling. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry, man. Definitely fun, but man, what do you think? Top 10 all time?
Ooh, man.
He's up there. It's close. It's close.
I mean, he's definitely up there for sure. I mean, I guess I just had to go back and do a list because, dude, when you think about, I mean, I could just Emmitt Smith, Walter Payton, Barry Sanders, LaDainian Tomlinson, Adrian Peterson, Marshall Falk, You know what I mean? And that, you name off a list of guys right there. That's just off the top of my head, and that's not even counting Jim Brown and guys like that. And I think Marshawn is a beast, but he might be right outside the top 10, but definitely one of the best of his era.
Yeah, good, man. All right, moving on to the next one, where we have Tommy the Train Peterson taking on Guilherme Pat. Odds for the fight: Guilherme Pat plus 102, Thomas the Train Peterson minus 117. All these fights are pretty closely lined, D-Rose. Basically pick them this week. Guilherme Pat undefeated, 6-0. Coming off unanimous decision win over Alan Fry, and coming off of LFA after that, while Thomas Peterson got snoozed by Vitor Petrino. However, was looking good in that fight, dog. And you know, I'm a Tom Train Peterson guy. I've cashed on him fucking by decision multiple fights. I believe this one was like, Thomas the Train Peterson via decision against Muhammad Usman was like plus 800, plus 900, and I know I cashed on that one. And I think, D-Rose, this is UFC newcomer. I know he has a win over Alan Fry, but Alan Fry is Alan Fry. This is UFC level competition. Thomas Train alternating wins and losses here, but he's UFC level. Big guy, good wrestling, can take you down. You might be 6'5", but, that don't matter. He can still take you down, and I think that's what happens. Give me Tom Train Peterson to win this fight. Do I go ground and pound, or do I go decision? Let's say he folds up this, young undefeated guy. Let's go TKO, late round 2 TKO, Tom Train Peterson. What about you, D-Rose?
Interesting. I will say this is one of the fights that I've actually been back and forth on, just because, I am with you just for Pat not having the UFC experience. But I do think that Thomas Peterson does ultimately have holes in his game. And if you go back and look at the wins that he does have in the UFC, Dontel Mays, a guy that, there is a path of victory there against, Dontel Mays. And then,
No shot, dude. He walks into the cage every time full of energy, jumping up and down like he's ready to go. Not like he just woke up from a nap.
Yeah, I know that's your guy. I know that's your guy. But yeah, unfortunately, he's had some ups and downs in his career. So let's I'm going to stick with Guilherme Pat here to get it done. I'm going to say it's probably gonna be a boring decision. I'm going to say a lot of fence holding, cage pushing. Again, a fight that we're probably going to skip over, but let's go Guilherme Pat by decision.
All right, going to be in the pick champ so far, D-Rose. It's our second different pick. Up next, we have Robert Rusciola taking on Jose Delano. Robert Rusciola has had who did he fight? Patchy Mix and then one other guy, or no? Who did?
No, Patchy Mix fought.
Who am I thinking about?
Jakob Wicklox.
Yeah. Still a Polish guy. Looks kind of the same. Lost against William Gomi via decision, and then came out of KSW. He's 27 years old, 5'8", 72-inch reach. Nothing against Robert Rusciola. This week, it's all about Jose Delano coming off the Contender Series, dude, where he just looked so seasoned, dude, so calm, composed. Like, I don't know how to explain it. The dude looked like he's had about 60 fights already. Looks fantastic on the feet, so composed. And I just think he wins every moment of this fight, dude. Give me Jose Delano to win this fight via decision. Good fight. Maybe not overwhelming, but he's good, man. He's a real good fighter. 29 years old. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah. I think Delano, I am with
you.
Oh,
wow. Big odds. Minus 318. Jose Delano plus 282 for Rusciola.
Yeah. But the lines came down a little bit because, looks like Tapology had the opening line here, minus 415 for Delano. So, obviously, a little money came Rucciola's way, but I do think that Jose Delano, he's actually got the more fights so far, and I guess you could say Rucciola's got pretty good experience in fighting in KSW, and different rules set against a bunch of tough guys, so that does do him well. But I do think Jose Delano can kind of have a similar fight style to William Gomi, and you can see how William Gomi gave Rucciola some problems. So I think I think Rucciola's tough. But I think, again, the more technical guy is going to be Delano here, and I think Delano gets it done by decision.
All right, me and you agreeing again. Moving on to the next one, where you got Tommy Gunn McMillan taking on the vegetable Manello Zucchini. Yeah, so the Italian Zucchini is 11-4 overall, dude. What am I doing? Odds for the fight minus 920. Tommy Gunn plus 777, 780 for the vegetable Zucchini, dude. And dude, if I'm not saying I'm a hater on Tommy Gunn, trains with fucking Sean O'Malley, has a lot of hype, but man, he in the Contender Series fight, I thought his head was gonna come off. Do you remember that when he got put in the choke and his head was like turning around going backwards? So we know he's tough. The issue is he's not fighting it. He's basically fighting Chase Hooper this weekend. Chase Hooper on the feet and like fucking Derek Lewis on the ground. I don't know what this guy's good at. It's just they're bringing him in to get Tommy Gunn a win, dude. You can't even bet it. I guess maybe Tommy Gunn by knockout. I don't know if I have those odds. Yeah, I don't have those odds right here yet, or at least not what I'm fucking looking at. So I guess Tommy McMillan. Let's go round the one knockout. But dude, as soon as he takes a step up, dog, it might be a problem. I'm just going to leave it at that. Tommy McMillan, round one knockout. What about you, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think, McMillan obviously needs a little bit more experience as well. He's a little bit early in his career, and I know he's, 28 years old, but what is he, 9-0 right now? So,
yeah,
and hasn't had the most high-level experience. So, I think give him a little bit more time. He's starting to get a little bit more, as far as fights under his belt. You look just the last 2 years, you can see he's gotten 5 fights. This will be a 6th fight within the last 2 years and 3 months. So, he's starting to get that experience up together now. He's got some good ability. And, I mean, to be a fighter, a lot of times that toughness can take you a long way. So, if you're able to have that, be able to withstand some damage and kind of what he was able to do in his UFC Contender Series fight, I think that could take him a long way. So, again, is he going to be title contender? I'm not saying Tommy McMillan is going to be that. And if I had to bet now, I would say Tommy McMillan is probably not going to be that. But I think he should be able to get the finish here done this weekend pretty easily. I'm going to say I know he likes to wrestle as well sometimes. Let's go round 2 submission for Tommy McMillan here.
That's fair. Antoine, want to know, do you guys think fighters will ever make close to NBA? No. No. Nope.
No, not at all.
No, that's a little too much, Antoine. Another rare Italian fighter hailing from Italy. Bibbidi boopity, says Dave. The fact he trains out of Venice is fire. What did he train with? Marvin Vittori? I know, because fucking Marvin Vittori fucking trains in the U.S. down at, what is it, fucking Sanford? Yeah, you fucking kill. Well, that's all the same shit, dog. You should have been like, yep.
Yeah.
You should have been like, yep. The Black Zillions, Killcliff, Sanford. Dude, they've changed their name so many fucking times, dog.
And Henry Hoof is still there.
Yep. Moving on, we have Rafael Esteban taking on what is an Ethan Ewing. Rafael Esteban 14-0, undefeated. 5'8", 69-inch reach, while Ethan Ewing 9-2 made his UFC debut against Malcolm Wellmaker, 28 years old, 5'6", and a 69-inch reach. So the jury will be out this weekend. D-Rose, did Ethan Ewing have the best performance of his life in his last fight against Malcolm Wellmaker, the UFC prospect, gunslinger, if you will, or will he turn back another undefeated fighter in Rafael Esteban this weekend? 14-0, dog. Looks like Rafael Esteban's getting most of his fights done. Let's see. Decision. Contender Series KO. So 3 decisions inside the UFC. So it doesn't look like he's finishing UFC level competition in, if I can see Joe Charles Energy John. Damn, is this a 125?
Yeah, remember
So
he missed weight a couple different times.
Yeah. That's so they they're bumping him up to 135.
Right.
And then so that even gives me more lean toward Ethan Ewing. Give me Ethan Ewing to win this fight. Let's go via decision. Turn back the undefeated 14-0 fighter. Odds for the fight: Ethan Ewing minus 132, Rafael Esteban plus 118. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think this is it's a pretty well matched fight, and like I said, they're moving Esteban up just because where he kept missing weight at flyweight. So that's obviously a no there. But I think Ethan Ewing looked good in his UFC debut. I will say he looked good against Malcolm Wellmaker, and I know you picked on me for picking Cameron Simon to beat Malcolm Wellmaker, but my biggest thing was that Malcolm Wellmaker was a counter puncher merchant. And I think if you can kind of get through that, you can get to Malcolm Wellmaker, and Ethan Ewing is tough enough and smart enough to be able to get through that defense. But I think Esteban does offer a little more in his game, and he does offer the wrestling and kind of the back takes. And I think that's where potentially Esteban, especially with that experience that he's got, 14 fights under his belt, and he's had a couple of fights in the UFC at this point. I think he's got a lot of that experience. And I'm going to take Esteban here to get it done. I'm going to take Esteban to get it done by decision. I don't think it's the most fun fight, but I think, I think he gets it done.
All right. Third different pick of the day. I wasn't sure if we were actually going to have 3 D-Rose.
I was a little worried myself, but we together we made it.
All right. We made it even though we had our backs up against the wall. Okay. Moving on. Feature fight of the night. Abdul Rahman Yakiev taking on Brennison Haberio. I'm surprised Brennison Haberio's in the UFC still, dog. He's still here. He every time they're about to cut him, he wins. Lost to Gajisulov, win against Kyle Machado, win against Dair Nergaze, lost to Azamat Mirzakhanov, and lost to Umar SC. 29 years old, 6'3", 81-inch reach, while Abdul Rahman Yakiev, undefeated, 8-0, won his UFC debut over Rafael Sequeira, which doesn't really say a lot. He is 25 years old, 6'2", and a 68-inch reach. Dude, my care for this fight, it's pretty close to 0%, man. Just because I don't think Brennison Haberio is that good, I'll go Yakiev. But I haven't looked too much into this one because I don't think this one's going to be getting any of my money this weekend. I guess I'll go Yakiev. How does he win, dog? KO? Yeah. Or is he rear naked? Rear naked, though, too. Rear naked. Let's go Yakiev KO, too. Because I know fucking Brennison's got a good round 1, but after that, kind of like his brother and kind of gasses a little bit. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think not too many thoughts on this fight. I'll just get it over with real quick. I think Yakiev, he's fast starter. Brennison Haberio, explosive but can get caught. I'm going Yakiev round 1 KO.
Let's go round 1. Yeah, I'm gonna change it with you, D-Rose. Me and you both going round 1. Yeah. All right. Co-main event. We got Dave's wife, Verna Jandiroba Kakada, taking on Baby Shark Tabitha Ricci. Verna Jandiroba lost for the title 5 months ago. 37 years old, 5'3", 64-inch reach. Tabitha Ricci, 12-3 overall out of her last 5 fights. 3 wins, 2 losses. Lost to Yan Xiaonan and Lupe Godinez. 31 years old, 5'1", 61-inch reach. D-Rose, there is a curse. And, dude, I try to bet against the curse every time, dog. If Verna didn't just lose for the title, I'd be picking her to win this fight via decision. I just would. But it almost seems like, dog, after these fighters get to the title shot and they lose, they always lose their very next fight. I think maybe Yuri is the only fighter to not that I like kind of since I've been kind of paying attention to all this to not lose after, fighting for the title and then fucking losing or fucking losing their belt. So, yeah, man, my brain says Verna Jandiroba wins this fight. But I'm going with the numbers, dog. Give me Tabitha Ricci to win this fight via decision. Odds on this fight are currently Tabitha Ricci plus 108, Verna Jandiroba minus 129. So Tabitha Ricci, a little bit of a dog. What's your thoughts here, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's a it's a stylistic type matchup. Verna wants to get the fight down to the ground, and Ricci wants to keep the fight standing.
I guess here's the question. For sure, Tabitha Ricci is better on the feet. Is the difference more? Is the difference wider on the ground for Verna than the striking distance on the feet? And I don't think so, dog, because Tabitha's good on the ground. It's just she can get caught on the bottom.
Yeah, well, I think the problem is with somebody like Verna, and what I really want to see is how they face off against one another. Because if Verna looks like she's at least a little, obviously she's gonna be bigger because
it says 2 inches. It says 2 inches, 5'3" to 5'.
But if I see 3 or more, I'm probably gonna load up Verna in the parlays because I do think Tabitha Ricci more athletic. She's tough. Good takedown defense, but I think once Verna can get the takedown, work that pressure, I think that's where she can really take over the fight. So yeah, I'm going to go Verna here. I don't think it's going to be the most exciting fight, but I think it's going to be a lot of fence control, back takes. Tabitha Ricci is going to be doing a lot of hand fighting and stuff like that, but I think Verna's just going to put too much pressure on her, and Verna gets it done by decision.
All right, moving on. Main event, we got Nato Money Moicano taking on Chris the Problem Duncan. I think this is Chris Duncan's shot up into the top 10, dog. Like taking this fight short notice. But this is his first time, right? Balagioki, Jordan Vucinic. No, even fighting like a person that's close to the rank, maybe Brownbetsky, and then lost to Manuel Torres, dog. I just think we know the level that Chris Duncan is, and he might train his hardest, dog, but at some point you just got to know you're not going to be the champion, and I think that's Chris Duncan. Not saying Renato Moicano is going to be the champion, but I just think the tools that Renato Moicano has poses a lot more danger to Chris Duncan's style, where he just goes into the fire and throws. As Renato Moicano, got pretty decent striking, but what he really wants to do is wait for you to come in here, throw on him. He's going to duck under, take you down, and he's going to submit you. So for me, personally, I think Renato Moicano wins this fight as the dog, man. Plus money, Renato Moicano, plus 154 for Renato Moicano, minus 155. Chris Duncan. Yeah, for me, give me Renato Moicano to win this fight. Let's go round 2 submission. What's your thought? And I know these guys fucking train together too, dude. So this shit's going to end up going to decision, but I'm going to pick Renato Moicano round 2.
Yeah, so I'll say I think the biggest thing for me, and I'll just say I'm picking Chris Duncan by decision here to get it done. I think the biggest reason for me is that I've heard Chris Duncan talk this week. I've heard both guys talk this week, and they both talked about training and training together. And Chris Duncan had even admitted early on that, Renato Moicano used to whoop him on the ground, and he kind of went back and emphasized. He said, keyword used to, and that's basically to say when he first got to the gym that Renato Moicano was kind of working on the ground, but since Chris Duncan has been there, he's gotten a lot better. And I think Chris Duncan's got a lot of the toughness in him. I've been a Chris Duncan fan for a little bit. I think I pretty much picked him in all of his UFC fights. A couple times I bet him as the I think it was Vucinic that he was the underdog against, and then Balagioki he was the underdog against. Mateusz Rebecki he was the underdog against, and I bet him on there too. So yeah, Chris Duncan came through for me more times than not. And honestly, I've never left a Chris Duncan fight and said, man, that was boring. Like, that dude is just all action, all gas. And I love his fight style for it. I love me some Renato Moicano, but I do think that this is Chris Duncan's time. Not that I think Chris Duncan is going to be a champ, but you can kind of see that Renato Moicano is on a little bit of the downslide now. So I think, I think Chris Duncan's got the skills to get it done. Give me Duncan by decision. But I think it's a war between the two. Like, I don't think it's just I don't think it's going to be a tepid wrestling. Like, Chris Duncan doesn't make his fights that, man. He makes them all wars, and I think this one's the same.
All right, man. Fair enough. Which will bring us to. Oh, man, I even fucking put that on the screen the whole time. Yeah, there's our UFC Vegas 15. UFC Vegas 115 Moicano versus Duncan preview, prediction, and bets. Yeah, that's our picks. That's what we just not did. Anyway, we're at our pick champ now, D-Rose. So we have 5 different picks for pick champ. More than I expected. I thought we were going to have probably 2 or 3 maximum, but we got 5, dog. Alessandro Costa versus Stuart Nickel, Tom Peterson versus Pat Ewing versus Estevam, Tabitha Ricci versus Verna, and Moicano versus Duncan. Which ones do you feel the best about? And let me throw those out.
I mean, hey, this is your world, champ. I'm just living in it. So
yeah. All right. Well, Stuart Nickel, Alessandro Costa will be in there for sure. Man, Tom Peterson. I do like Tom Peterson, but he is fighting a big old heavyweight, and it's heavyweight. Could go either way. You know what, D-Rose? I'm going Tom Peterson, Guillermo Pat, and 3. I'm going. Give me Tabby R over fucking Kakara. Give me that one. As the dog, got to give you a chance, dog. Like I can't pick all the favorites, you know.
Hey, I mean that's not.
I'm giving myself an excuse as to why I lose.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm John Jones in it over here, dude. I'm out here doing blow 2 weeks before my fight.
Yeah, you're again. This is your world play. I'm just living it. But
all right, so pick champ for this week will be Alessandro Costa versus Stuart Nickel, Tommy the Train Peterson versus Guillermo Pat, and Tabitha Ricci, Baby Shark versus Verna Jane Jaroba. I have Alessandro Costa, Tommy the Train Peterson, and Tabitha Ricci. D Rose has Stuart Nickel, Guillermo Pat, and Verna Hakadai Jane Jaroba. Sound good? Backup. You want to do the main event? Backup for the main event?
Sure. Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Backup main event. If needed, I got Hinata Moicano, D-Rose got Chris Duncan. Let's see what you guys are saying before we get out of here. Dave, not happy with the Nuggets. I'm sorry, Dave. I'm sorry, brother. Turned the ball over 3 times in 30 seconds. I hate, that's what happens, man. That's what happens.
Damn, buddy.
Look over the horizon. Do y'all think Connor comes back 3:30 in July? I think he'll fight one more time, dog. Hopefully it's against fucking Michael Chandler. That way we can just settle that. Michael Chandler, Conor McGregor finally happened. We can move past it, and neither one of them never have to fight again.
I know the talks are positive, but until I see him actually walking out, I just don't know if I can believe it at this point.
Why? My question is why, dog? You got so much fucking money. You gonna fight for another couple million? Like, dog, like you have
Unless
a Lamborghini.
He really needs it.
Dude, no. Like once you buy boats like that, dog, like you're at a point now where it's like you have so much fucking money where you don't. That's what you're buying. Like you can't finance that, dog. That's like $300 million you gotta pay for a Lamborghini boat, dog. Like, come on, he don't need no fucking money, man. Unless for the love of the game, then I don't know, man. It's tough.
Yeah, well, he could be borrowing that from somebody too. So
I don't think so, dog. Like he fucking lives on that. He fucking lives on that shit, dog.
Yeah, you don't think he got a homie he throws a couple grand to
a couple grand. I don't think so. Oh man. Can't be another like that. I don't know. Just my family. That's it. All right, y'all. That's going to be it for the show today. We appreciate y'all for stopping by. If y'all haven't already, do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up button for your boys. Share this with anyone interested in UFC or anything like that. And if you're on mobile, hit the little hype button. I don't know what it does, but hit that. Leave us a comment down there if you're watching this after. All that good shit. But we appreciate y'all for stopping by, hanging out with us tonight for this terrible UFC Vegas 115 card we got this weekend. But remember, if you're betting on this card this weekend, just be careful. Be careful betting on the card this weekend. You know, lots of fights that aren't the greatest. And remember, we got UFC 327 next weekend. Save your money up a little bit so you can bet Yuri round 2 knockout. You know, that's what we do. That's what we do around here. Anyway, that being said, my name is Matt D. Rose on that side of your screen, and we appreciate you for stopping by here, hanging with us here tonight. Change the cheddar, Matt. Next week, Antoine, me and the D. Rose will both be here next week for Change the Cheddar. But we'll catch you guys next week for D. Rose. Before you stop punching for just a second, next week, our 200th episode, dog. 200th Golden Octagon MMA podcast.
Damn, that's gonna be crazy. Doing a 200 episode, you're gonna be eating beans again next week.
You know what, man? Fuck y'all. All right. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.